And that's as far as I got. I'm on page 54.
I notice you read a lot more books than most other kids your age. Well, I shouldn't say that because I don't know that many kids your age.
Yeah.
But you read a lot more books than kids did who were my age. You remind me on how many books you read.
If the book is interesting, then I'll read it.
But how do you know if it? How do you pick out a book to read? How do you know? How can you look at a book and say, well, this might be a pretty good book to read?
I'll read the back of it, and then I'll read the blurb.
Mm-hmm.
And after I read that, then I'll ask somebody. I'm like, have you read this book? You know, someone that's a lot like me.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, yeah, that's a good book. You should try to read it, and then that's when I read it.
Mm-hmm. Now, do reading the books ever get in the way of you doing your homework, getting your homework done on time?
Reading books?
Yeah.
No, because most of the time when I read books, they help me. Because, like, I learn new words, and then I have projects that I have to do on books that I read anyway.
Okay. When you are 15 years old, and 15-year-olds, when I was 15 years old, didn't have cell phones. Now, which brings me to this question. When you are reading one of your books and you get to a few pages that are really intriguing, interesting pages that you don't want to
get burned and cranked.
Okay.
You need to read those books.
Okay. Can I finish?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And let's say you're on a pretty good roll and your cell phone rings and it's your homegirl from school calling about something silly from school. Do you stop reading to get on the phone and talk on the phone?
I'll answer the phone and I'll be like, hello, to see if she wants, like, something important or whatever. But if she don't, I'm just like, let me call you back. Like I did a few minutes ago when I was reading. Let me call you back.
Now, when you're doing your homework, do you let your friends interrupt you? Or
if they're helping me.
But have you ever told one of your friends, hey, look, I'm doing my homework, I'll call you back?
Yeah, a few times.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There are times when I don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you read a lot. Because I can always have a good conversation with you whenever we're talking about books.
You need to get identical.
Because most girls your age be talking about a bunch of BS. I'm not going to say girls, most kids your age, period.
Tell me why when I went to my mom's house.
I do notice that you have one hell of a attention deficit.
I'm sorry, but listen, I went to my mom's house. My mama boyfriend said, you are the smartest person from your mama's family that I have ever met. And I was like, really? I laughed. It was funny.
Tell them flattery gets nowhere with you.
I mean, but it was funny to me because I was like...
But your sisters are pretty smart. They're all pretty smart. I've met them. They all look pretty sharp chicks.
That's what I was thinking.
I think what it is he's always around them and I always be... And then he's like, oh, well, he probably doesn't realize how smart they really are because he's with them all the time. But yeah, I think y'all are some pretty bright chicks. Is your mom smart?
She used to be.
Now, how can somebody used to be smart?
You can lose wisdom very easily. You can lose brain cells too.
What, by getting hit by a car and having brain damage? Yeah. I believe that if you're smart, you're always smart. You might not be able to express your wisdom after,
like Mama
several
Dawn,
beers.
She gets like 5 years older and she starts going through Alzheimer's. She won't tell us who got her what outfit 30
That's
years
all right.
ago.
She'll still have more sense than all of us. She may not be able to, remember who got her dress, but she got more sense than everybody on that street. Probably everybody in Lone Oak. She's a smart woman. She's a very pretty woman, too. You ever seen her eyes before?
Yeah, they're like green.
Yeah, she's got some pretty eyes, pretty hair. And she always sharp on Sunday. I ain't never seen her raggedy on a Sunday. She's sharp. But she comes from a time where, women were a lot, and this is only my opinion because I'll get in trouble with a lot of women for saying this, but I think she comes from a time where women carried themselves a little bit more erect than they do these days.
Erect, meaning?
They're more upstanding. They have much more pride.
Much more pride.
Yeah. I think women from.
It's true because they didn't have.
I think 15-year-olds. I think 15-year-olds when Mama Dawn was 15 years old, was probably more. 15-year-olds during Mama Dawn's time were probably more mannerable and upstanding than most 15-year-olds now. And I'm not saying that to insult any 15-year-olds that you go to school with, but you 15, you hang around 15-year-olds, they be at school cussing. I know y'all be at school cussing and smoking that marijuana.
I don't smoke.
Well, that's right answer. That's the correct answer.
I don't.
But they be up there. Girls be clowning at school. They be getting way out of pocket doing stuff they not supposed to do. Up there talking back to the teachers, fighting with boys who